Thank you, Jordan. Anna, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. All right, so I'm just going to ask you, when did you first hear about the protests?
It was probably early on in the week, right around on the Tuesday when it started. But we were doing our own thing, so we were just sort of watching it.
Right. When did you get to Egypt?
On January 4th.
Okay. Okay. So did you go to the protests?
No, we were actually pretty far away from Cairo. We were out in the Dakhla Oasis, which is about 12 hours down, so we were pretty far away from the action.
Right. And then, so when were you told you had to leave then?
It was on the Sunday after, on the 30th, I believe, and we were out by the next day.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
and what were you doing
really
in
fast.
Egypt?
we were on a program to do an archaeological dig in a Roman town, and we were gonna have a month of the dig, which we got 3 days into, and then do some traveling after, which we of course didn't get to do at all.
Right.
So yeah, it was a really great program, a little truncated.
Okay, so what was the process like after you found out that you had to leave?
We were told initially that it would be between 24 and 48 hours, but it ended up being that literally the next morning we were woken up at like 7 o'clock and told you have to be ready to leave by 11.
Oh, wow.
Which of course didn't really leave by 11. We were waiting around for a couple of more hours and trying to get landing rights and all the chaos, and we ended up having to take a bus out to a different airport and add like 6 hours to the trip.
Oh, wow.
But it was just this crazy thing.
So it was a long trip from you back.
Yeah, it was about 40 hours in total.
Wow.
We went to Dubai and then flew back to the U.S. So
Wow.
it was a little intense.
Okay, and did NYU facilitate this for you, or?
Yeah, they have an insurance program. They basically, if anything happens to any study abroad student, they will go get you.
Oh, good.
And so they had to throw that into action, which they never had to do before.
Oh.
Yeah, so they were pretty heavily involved.
Okay, and what about the other students with you?
They're from Columbia and Barnard. There was a few NYU students, but it was pretty even across the board, and they're now at NYU for the rest of the semester. We're all living in NYU housing, but we're taking classes uptown on 84th Street with our professor from the program. So
Right.
some continuity.
Right. So are you glad to be back?
No, not so much. No,
You wanted to stay?
I really wanted to be in Egypt this semester. I love New York, but
Right.
I wasn't planning on being here for a little while.
And would you have wanted to see these protests?
Well, I mean, part of me, yes,
Right.
definitely. I mean, it's like that's history,
Right.
But at the same time, like, I was pretty glad that I wasn't in harm's way. Actually,
I'm sure your
so.
parents were too.
They were, yeah, they were. Their hearts were beating pretty fast there.
Thank you. Back to you.